So there's a bunch of watch lists for all these awards, right? That the college football writers announce before the season actually begins to say, hey, this is a player to watch for this award. And a lot of those were announced today, even Monday and Tuesday. They've really been doing it all this week. So we have a lot of guys to add to these watch lists. This is in addition, by the way, to what we talked about with Media Day on last week's episode. Check out my video on Big Ten Media Days that I put out last week as part of our 21st episode. That was last Wednesday's stream, talking about Luke Altmaier and Xavier Scott being on, I think they were named like all preseason honors, right? These preseason things, like especially like all preseason honors, you got to take that with a grain of salt as well. Because I am a little confused as to how you can win an award before the season starts. Like it really is just fully a matter of opinion. But this is a little different though, right? This is just a watch list. And I think this is much more fair. Say like, hey, we genuinely think this guy could win this really, really good award. And these are some great awards that we're going to be talking about tonight. The first one is the Bronco Nagurski Trophy. That is awarded to the best overall defensive player in all of college football. Some recent winners that NFL fans will definitely know. 2022, Will Anderson Jr., now on the Houston Texans. 2020, Zaven Collins on my Arizona Cardinals, actually. And then Chase Young in 2019. Where is he now? He was on the Saints, but I don't think he's coming back to the Saints. He might be a free agent right now. Someone in the comments let me know where Chase Young is at. I don't know what's going on with Chase Young. He was a huge star when he was in Washington, and then he went to the Niners, and then he was on state. It's not that important. He's really good. He's in the NFL. He won the award in 2019, along with some other really good players in the NFL. So there are two Illini that are on the Bronco Nagurski Trophy watch list, and that is Gabe Yakus and Xavier Scott. Shouldn't surprise you that those are the two guys, but I am very happy to hear that there are two guys on that list. Gabe Yakus, not really a surprise, right? I mean, he has so many expectations, should definitely be a first-round draft pick in next year's NFL draft. But Xavier Scott, I mean, we know he's good, but I'm really glad to see him considered one of the top defensive players overall, not even at his position. He is, of course, considered one of the best at his position as well, because Scott was also named to the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award watch list. That's for the best defensive back. So that's a little more narrow, but he's on both of those lists. The 2024 winner of that award was Jahdae Barron on Texas. But really, really nice to see both two guys in the running for the best defensive player in the entire country. They name a lot of people to these preseason award watch lists, but still, I mean, that's for the best. Think about how many defensive players there are in the entire game of college football, right? It's a huge honor for these two players. And it just speaks volumes about the depth of their defense and the overall roundness of their defense, too. To have Gabe Yakus up front be on this watch list, and then Xavier Scott waiting for you if you are able to throw it over Yakus's head. Really, really good to see two guys on that list defensively. And congratulations to both of them. I know they haven't won the award yet, but even to be considered for an award like that is huge. I mean, that is for the best defensive player in all of college football. It was introduced in 1993 to be a good pairing to the Heisman Award, since defensive players rarely win the Heisman, with a like half exception last year, I guess. And before that, you'd have to go back to Charles Woodson, I think, was the last defensive player to win the Heisman. I could be wrong about that as well, but I'm just saying that off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that's right. J.C. Davis has also been named to a preseason award watch list. No, I am not done. This team is really good. We have a couple more to talk about. J.C. Davis is on the watch list for the Outland Trophy. That is for the best offensive tackles the country. He was actually named to that list today. It was this afternoon. And then yesterday, the news broke that Luke Altmaier has been named to the Maxwell Award watch list. That is a combination of player talent and also usually an offensive player, like a combination of stats and also like sportsmanship, though, and overall like what you do for the sport, and like what you do for college football as a whole. Last year, the winner was Ashton Genty. So pretty cool. Your Luke Altmaier's name be considered for an award that Genty won last year. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. So that's 4 players that are on these preseason award watch lists, and they're all different positions. So you got a quarterback, you got an offensive tackle, you got a linebacker, you got a defensive back, and this just speaks volumes. That's my catchphrase for the night. I keep saying that. It speaks volumes on not only the depth that the Illini have, the overall well-roundedness of this squad, but just also the added traction and media attention that the Illini are getting this year, right? These writers never look twice at Illinois, and here we are, 4 players on these lists. It's just really great to be part of the conversation, right? And seeing these caliber players, and 4 of them, not just 1 or 2, 4 caliber players, all at different positions being named to these watch lists. Again, it's a preseason thing. Are any of them probably going to win these awards? I don't think so. I really hope so, though. They certainly can. And that's what these writers are saying, that it is very possible that these guys could win these awards. And that's just great. The media is starting to love Illinois, especially as the season inches closer and closer. We are now, I think, exactly a month. No, we are less than a month away. I think the season starts on the 29th. So we are actually less than a month away from the start of the season. And this whole past month, all these articles I'm seeing about Illinois on my daily feed are just Illinois playoff contender, big expectations. Illinois I don't think has ever had this big of expectations in my lifetime, like going into a season. Not that I can remember as being a fan. Has there been this much media traction, media attention, media recognition like this that we're seeing? And that is just being confirmed by seeing these players on these preseason award watch lists. Just really, really good to see. Honestly, it makes me happy. It makes me very happy. That is a wrap on that. I think that's about all that we can say about those preseason awards. Because again, it's a preseason award, but I think having these watch lists is great, though, because it tells you exactly who to look out for. And writers who give out these awards at the end of the year are going to be looking more closely at these players. Absolutely incredible. So to recap that, just before we move on, that is Gabe Yakus and Xavier Scott up for the Bronco Nagurski Trophy. Xavier Scott also up for the Jim Thorpe Award. JC Davis up for the Outland Trophy, and Luke Altmaier on the watch list for the Maxwell Award.